Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel as we're going to discuss the Cancer full moon happening on December 26th, 2023 at 7:32 p.m. That's Eastern time, so be sure and adjust for your location on the planet. So with this full moon, we find the moon at 4 degrees of Cancer, 58 minutes. So we round up to 5 degrees of Cancer, and it is opposing the sun at 4 degrees of Capricorn, 58 minutes. So as always, with a full moon, the moon is at its brightest, and the moon in Cancer is in its home sign. So there could be something here coming into alignment for you around how you feel, what you're really processing, what is coming up for you in your internal space. This is also the energy that will amplify anything that you haven't fully processed or acknowledged, as that Cancer moon can have energetic ties to the past. And this could be a time of year when you are moving through experiences from previous years, previous holidays. Of course, this is occurring December 26th, so happy Boxing Day, happy Kwanzaa. And it's towards the end of the year when the energy can even feel reflective and introspective. So the moon in Cancer is really asking you to come into your heart, come into what you're feeling, to sit with it, to allow it, to honor it, whatever might be coming up for you, especially if it's something that previously was uncomfortable. You could have some type of emotional push to really honor what that is for you. This could also be accessing some memories and connections to your family, because the Cancer and Capricorn axis here is about where you come from, which is the Cancer lineage. It's your ancestors, it's your genetic lineage, it's also your immediate family. The moon in Cancer also connects to how you feel connected to your family or not. And it relates to the Capricorn energy of where you're going, what you've learned along the way, the experiences that the world has taught you. So this is an energy axis here of checking in on what you're also maturing, what you are stepping into and fully owning, no matter what has transpired previously. Now, obviously, that's a big area of energy. That's a big topic. But there could be something here that you're seeing in a new light. And I'm getting the visual of perhaps childhood energies that now you're seeing from an adult perspective. Or you're seeing your parents in a new way. Or you're seeing yourself as a parent in a new way. So this is an energy that will connect us to our own growth, our own emotional growth, and how we're also honoring what we are feeling, and we're taking responsibility for it. Now, this lunation has some beautiful connections with the outer planets. So the Cancer full moon is the energy point here, and it is making a lovely connection to this Jupiter at 5 degrees of Taurus, 36 minutes retrograde. Jupiter will be stationing direct the last day of the year, December 31st, and is hanging out here, which is an eclipse point. We had our Taurus lunar eclipse on October 28th at 5 degrees of Taurus, and now Jupiter is activating something that you've been trusting, you've been patient, you've probably been even just allowing it to be, because this Jupiter in Taurus can be an observer, and it's connecting beautifully with the moon. And so maybe something came up for you during that October 28th Taurus lunar eclipse that you're seeing in a new light, you're understanding as how it's connected to your journey. And so this is always a beneficial energy, as Jupiter wants to expand us, wants to also bring in resources and support, gives you trust, mammoth trust. And that is actually a theme between Jupiter in Taurus and the moon in Cancer. They're both connected through the theme of trusting yourself, trusting what you're feeling, and trusting how this Jupiter is also opening up some things that maybe you just didn't see before. And you had to pull back your energy. You had to reflect, sit with it. I also feel like this could be something, if you've been evaluating patterns from the past, things you've previously been through, and maybe you're looking at some things in yourself and you're like, I want to do it differently. But first, I've got to be honest with myself about how it felt, what I've been holding, what I've been clinging to or attached to. And it can now feel safe to let it go. It could be something that you've been working through internally. You've been learning from the past. You've been learning through previous versions of yourself. And now you're saying, you know, I can see it now. I see it differently. I see how I'm different. My energy has grown. My energy's different. And here this Jupiter is holding space, allowing you to tap into the wisdom so that you can maybe move ahead differently or see things in a new light. Because also, of course, this Jupiter is trining the sun, and that will be exact on December 27th. And that will also be an encouraging energy. This Jupiter, especially in Taurus, wants to experience abundance and ease and flow. And you've probably had to have a lot of divine grace with your own growth process. And just trust yourself, keep allowing, keep being in that place of, okay, this is what I've come to understand about what I value now, especially in myself. And that I'm worthy of what I want. I'm worthy of what I want. And maybe there's something here where that message gets through to your inner child. That message gets through to your heart. That message gets through to this moon in Cancer that is comfortable trusting itself, which also can be inconsistent. And there can be a fear of trust here. This, I feel, could give you some kind of strength in trusting what you desire and what you want next. That also is a theme as we look at this Saturn, now at 2 degrees of Pisces, 49 minutes, and how this Saturn is also trining the moon and approaching the sextile to Jupiter, and Saturn is also, of course, connecting with the sun. And this is a stabilizing energy that is about responsibility for your journey, where you're making new commitments to yourself about what you've learned, what you don't want to repeat, the karmic energy, if you will, the karma in your life that you didn't realize was there, the healing, the spiritual strength. And that's what I feel too, this Saturn in Pisces is bringing to our attention, is our own spiritual strength to keep going, but to be in alignment with the Pisces higher self and how we're willing to surrender what we don't know. So this Saturn is bringing strength to the full moon, stabilizing it. The exact connection here to Saturn would have happened earlier in the day on December 26th when the moon was at 2 degrees, 3 degrees of Cancer. And so this could be a day of realizations, reflections, introspection. You could even have something related to the father, which is Saturn and the sun in Capricorn, although it could also just be any elder, authority, mentor, parent figure that you've looked up to. There could be something that you're accepting now. Accepting they did the best they could. That's who they were. That's what their journey was. There could be something here that you're just finding peace in your heart and detaching or processing, moving through in a new light. I feel like part of this full moon is setting us free from something we've been holding. and we're realizing it in a new way that actually helps us mature and allows everyone to take responsibility for their journey. And that would mean looking at, have you taken on more responsibility for another person's journey? Have you been holding something? Have you been holding an energy here for your family? And here's Saturn. I'm actually getting the visual of this Saturn in Pisces being an angel, Archangel Michael, some kind of beautiful angelic figure saying, you can let go of that now. You can release yourself from that now. And as you do so, it brings something expansive into your self-worth and allows you to continue on. So this is quite a beautiful dance of energies, with the sun and the moon interacting with Saturn and Jupiter in these early degree points. And keep in mind that Saturn and Jupiter are going to continue the sextile through January into February, where it will be exact again at 7 degrees. So there's something reshaping and forming us here that we can count on, that you can rely on. There's a stability with Saturn making this connection to Jupiter. And this could be something that you're feeling that, you've been learning a lot, especially through your ascension and your spiritual growth, your emotional clearing, anything you've been deeply working through, that it's clicking into a higher realm. It's clicking into new possibilities. And at this time with the Cancer full moon, it's landing at a very personal level. And that's the moon in Cancer. It feels things deeply and personally. This is quite intuitive. You could just be feeling an answer. You could just be feeling an understanding. I keep coming back to the father energy here. Just trust if that resonates for you or not. It could be a grandparent. It could be a mother or someone on your maternal side. So, trust if that is resonating for you or not. I feel like there's something here that you're understanding that, again, alleviates a burden or allows you to accept that people do the best they can. Can you let them off the hook for something that you needed that they couldn't provide? Can you be complete with a chapter in your family, in your lineage, in yourself, with a peace in your heart that people do the best they can with what they know, what they have, what their soul is here to experience? And the more we can trust that, we set ourselves free and we allow more peace in our hearts and in our energy. Honestly, there can also be grief around this. There can be grief at what you did not get, at what you did not receive, at what you personally deeply needed that was not provided. And I feel this across like a lifetime journey, not just maybe this year or this holiday season where you didn't get the present you wanted. I mean, something that you emotionally needed that wasn't available to you. You didn't have access to it, but now you could just feel like, okay, it is what it is. I'm good. And I understand that even if there's a grieving process or an acknowledgement of loss, an acknowledgement of what was not, here's Jupiter connecting you to more of what's possible going forward, what you can create, the abundance, or even the sense of self that you can rely upon, because Jupiter in Taurus is self-reliant. And so this is asking you to check in on how you're able to trust that in yourself. Trust that in yourself. Now at this time, we also have on this exact day, Chiron stationing direct here at 15 degrees of Aries, which can bring up what you've been working through, especially since late July, and feeling cleared of it. Feeling like, okay, let me gather myself back together and accept the changes, accept what I've been through. Understand that this Chiron in Aries wants you to be more courageous and authentic in your true self, wants you to know you can handle things, and that it's okay to ask for support as needed. But something about this energy coinciding with the Cancer full moon, this is where you're being guided to trust who you are even more, and to also reclaim and begin something that maybe you were afraid to do on your own. There is an energy here of moving forward, knowing that what's done is done. And that could be something that inspires you to move forward, especially as we enter into a brand new calendar year. Now, the other energy in the chart that stands out is this Mercury at 25 degrees Sagittarius retrograde, making a conjunction here to Mars, 23 degrees of Sag. And so this is, be careful what you say. Watch your temper. If you're triggered or pissed off, that can come out in a big way that you regret, or that you've got to eat some humble pie with a side of ice cream. This could also be, plans are changing. And as much as this Mars wants to go, 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 here comes Mercury saying, we should look at this again. And the mutable signs can handle that. So there's changes here, there's delays. Of course, this relates to travel, being Mercury and Mars in Sag. So travel delays, travel issues, it's just more highlighted here during the last week of the year. And then you have both of these squaring Neptune. And that square to Neptune is disappointment, discouragement. For all the gusto, bravado, determination, excitement of these Sagittarius planets, here's Neptune saying, not so fast, slow it down. It's not going to look like that. It's not going to look like that. So if you are, making plans for the new year, or things are in motion, stay flexible, stay open, stay adaptable, stay healthy. Because this Neptune, especially squaring Mars, it's going to be in effect that last week of the year. Stay healthy, Mars being the body. So keep that in mind. Also, with that Mercury squaring Neptune, out of office, circle back in January. You can't find people. They're not responding. They're not available. They don't want to be contacted. The disappearing act here is prevalent with this energy. So, just detach from it. Don't get too angry. Don't take it personally that Mars will get angry and blow a fuse. So keep in mind that, people are probably just not going to be as available. And also, I feel like collectively people can be processing a lot at this time. There can be a lot of emotional energy on the planet with the Cancer full moon. Now, this Venus at 26 of Scorpio is trining that Neptune. And so that allows us to really tap into our intuition. And then it's also this energy of Venus in Scorpio is approaching an exact sextile here to this Pluto at 29 Capricorn. And the Scorpio being ruled by both Mars and Pluto. So this is the energy here of Venus knowing that she's transforming something around what she desires. It often feels quite personal or intense. But with the interactions to Pluto and Neptune, and Pluto being at the apex of this minor grand trine, there's something deeply shifting in what you want that can be internal. And I feel like at this point in Venus's journey through Scorpio, she understands what she no longer needs, wants, or desires. And this is her Phoenix rising energy into more of her power, her spiritual power, her intuitive power. So I feel like this Venus is actually quite the star of this Cancer full moon, because she's doing some internal workings here, and she's reprogramming herself in some drastic ways that are setting her up for what she's moving into in the new year. And she doesn't even know all the details or all the specifics. She's working with these higher consciousness energies of Pluto and Neptune. And I feel like what she's also assessing, because Venus in Scorpio connects to what we've absorbed or taken on from others, there's a deeper sense of her power emerging, where she could say, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not holding that. I'm not connected to that. I'm not going to be what other people want or need of me. I don't want to give my power to that anymore. And there's a revival energy here. There's a revival energy with this Venus, where she's really in something that is supporting her beautifully and showing her more of her creation power, as well as her intuition. So I feel like this is quite a powerful Venus that closes out the year. She does move in to Sagittarius right before the end of 2023, and that's her liftoff point, where we will have then Venus, Mars, and Mercury all in Sag, connecting us to new visions, dreams, opportunities, potentials that are calling to us. And also, this sun in Capricorn continues on, of course, moves forward, and could even feel a deeper connection to a soul purpose, a soul mission, especially after making the exact trine here to that Jupiter. So there's a lot of emotional energy with the Cancer full moon, but there's probably something that you feel like you've got a handle on, or that you get it. There's something you're closing out that is best for your heart, for your self-compassion, for your self-love. And I feel too like there's something it's like it's clearing the slates. Clearing the slates, wiping something clear, wiping something clean. Just, okay, that's what it was, or okay, that's where I went, or okay, that's what it was. And I feel like with this Cancer full moon, just know that your feelings are giving you some beautiful insights in the present moment. And that's where the moon in Cancer exists. It actually, yes, it connects to the past, and it has to clear out the past to hear the present moment. And then here we have the Capricorn energy that takes us forward into where we're going next. So just honor what you're understanding you need to change, clear out, and be complete with to set yourself free as you then venture into new territory as we begin a new year. So thank you for joining me for this video, as well as joining me throughout 2023. It's always a joy, and I'm very grateful to connect with you through this language and world of astrology. And for those of you who have asked, yes, you can still get the 2024 Soul Growth Astrology Program. And, we have some really gorgeous energies in next year that are very multidimensional, quite galactic. We're going into new places. We're going and voyaging into further energies, further dimensions, further realms that our human selves are going to need to integrate and adapt to. But I do hope that gives you insight into the potentials of 2024 and beyond. So I'll put that link below the video here. Wishing you a beautiful holiday season for whatever you celebrate, and of course, a very happy new year. I'll see you back here soon.